Hello, welcome back to my one block world. Last video was a little bit of a different one. We went into the nether to try and get ourselves to somehow spawn some blazes in, because we've had terrible luck with getting any blazes to spawn, and I decided to try and build just a whole blaze spawn area where they could happily spawn and live their happy lives, a little blaze farm if you will. But unfortunately, the blaze farm design that I was working with, that I knew I was working with as well, did rely on a blaze spawner, because in vanilla Minecraft you need a blaze spawner for any of them to spawn anyway. Unfortunately, that didn't quite go according to plan. We have a spawn area that would be fully functional with a spawner, but since there's no spawner, nothing is spawning there, which unfortunately was to be expected. But, you know, I was still hoping that somehow, someway, it would promote the blazes to be spawning, but we were not as lucky as that. There's a lot of these guys in here right now, and it's because they're spawning on these blocks, I think. Okay. Well, I know the solution to fixing this issue. They're also spawning on the portal, but that is also easily solved now that I think about it. So what we're going to do, I hadn't considered this to be as much of an issue, but now it is. Okay, there we go. Nothing can spawn there anymore. Nothing should be able to spawn here, but I can still walk up. And these guys are now covered by the roof. This area is now fully spawn-proof other than these chests, which I believe I can do like this. Like this. Okay, now other than this block right here, everything here is spawn-proofed. I hadn't really considered this. Honestly, actually, I might let it be, because what I had noticed in between the last few videos was that... Hold on, I would like to replace this block right now. While we spent a whole lot of time building a blaze spawner, as you saw when we walked into this world, blazes are here. They particularly love spawning right here in this little main hub area and nowhere else. So I have actually managed to collect quite a few blaze rods, but this is the failed blaze farm. In case you missed the last video, I would suggest you check it out. It was a little bit different than usual. I don't tend to do just, you know, building videos, but I wanted to give this one a shot. But unfortunately, not a single thing has spawned in here. I have had one mob spawn right on these blocks, but that's been it in this world. So this is officially a fail. Maybe in the future I'll find a different way to work with it, but for right now, it's a fail. So let's go back into the overworld, because while we were waiting for that to build, every time I ended up coming back here, going through the portal, going into my overworld, there would just be a bunch of blazes waiting for me. And it did get a little bit annoying, I will not lie, because the blazes did come close to killing me. There's no railing over there, so it felt a little bit more dangerous. So eventually I was so low on my health I had to run away, but they kept following me, so they actually destroyed like half of this building. I just rebuilt it because of the fire, and this is wood. So what I might do at some point today as well is build a little bit of a safety rail around that island, so it's a little bit more safe for me there. But the main thing is, while we were so very busy building our failed mob farm, we did collect a number of blaze rods. Now 20 is not a whole lot, but it is enough for me to do the potioneering that I want to do, which has been a goal I've had in this world for so very long. I wanted to do some potioneering just because I think it's fun. I've never really done potion making in Minecraft before, and I wanted to learn, but also because I wanted to try and cure some zombie villagers to see if everything could be awesome and we could have cheaper trades. But what you might be able— oh, that's not good. Oh my goodness. Ooh, okay. What you might be able to tell is, unfortunately, these blocks weren't here which meant when I was standing around here, mobs actually could see me, and they tried to kill me, but instead of killing me, they killed all of the zombie villagers I had over here. So while I thought I was very prepared for this whole mission, turns out I am anything but prepared. All of our zombie villagers are gone. I have nothing. Nothing, I tell you. Except a whole bunch of music discs. But I guess we have to farm here and hope we get some zombie villagers in a second. But that does actually mean I have to be actively here, because otherwise they simply will perish. Because there'll be too many mobs for me to make sure only the zombie villagers stay alive. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my potion brewing station. Let me figure out how I do that. We need a brewing stand. Right, that's what it's called. And luckily we have exactly 3 deep slate. Wow. Oh, we don't need deep slate because this is not the cobbled version, of course. Well then we grab these 3. We're running low on materials if you can't tell. It's because we just used everything for the other build. Okay. Now this is my first time doing it. So to cure zombie villagers, we need a potion of weakness or poison. Something you can also get from a witch. Let me double check. Okay, so we need weakness, which should be simple enough to get. We need fermented spider eyes, gunpowder, because we want a splash potion, and that should be it. Now, what did we need for fermented spider eyes? It was mushroom, sugar, spider eyes. Who would have thought? That's why we collected these mushrooms ages ago. If anybody remembers that whole mission. Oh yes, I was like, why am I going this way? But it was for my sugarcane farm, but I've got some grown here. And then that will be all of that complete, and then all we need is our spider eyes, and we'll be good. I thought I had some spider eyes over here. I'm sure I have them somewhere. Oh, we also had sugar here. Let's have a look. Any of my chests have spider eyes? We do. Perfect. We don't actually get a lot of spiders out here, so this is quite a nice little find. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this up like over here. Oh, we're gonna need glass bottles. Oh my goodness, can you tell this is my first time ever doing any of this? But no, it'll work out. We'll be fine. And then, for the first time ever, I'll be making a potion. Which is kind of fun. I do really enjoy this world, not because it's a one-block world, although that itself is also very entertaining for sure, but because I think because it's a one-block world, I have to be more creative than I usually am, and so I feel like I'm doing a lot of things for the first time. Like, you know, we've got all of my... Oh, I didn't like that. Can I? Okay, well, it's done now. My mob farms, making potions, all a lot of fun, but also all pretty new. There we go. And we can put these guys in here. Can put one of these in here. Is that not how that works? No. Do I not know how potion making works? I thought you just put... Okay. Okay. You can tell I've never done this before, and that's okay. There's gotta be a first time for everything. Okay. Okay, I was a little bit too hasty with it. I think I have to put the fermented spider eye in first. So let me get that done. Hopefully we get some villagers here in a second. There we go. Let's make ourselves just a couple of these guys. This. And now I can put one of these in. No. Am I missing something? Oh my goodness. I have not had a single thought. It's not blaze rods, it's blaze powder. I'm learning. Also, don't I need awkward potions first? Is that not a step as well? Maybe? Maybe not for this one, I don't know. Let's put in the blaze powder. Oh my goodness, I hope everybody is laughing at me. That was... If only I read any of the websites I was reading, if only I used a single part of my brain. But no, I did not. Okay, so now we have a potion of weakness. And we want to make it splash with one of these. And then we need golden apples, but we have apples, I'm sure of it. And we have enough gold to last us a little while. So now that this has been done, I've officially made my first potions. They're very exciting. I will probably make some actually like useful potions to me, like maybe some speed, although I worry I would run off the edge of the world with speed. Some regen, some power, water breathing, all the fun stuff. But there you have it. That's my first ever time getting the local brewery achievement. So we will be ready to go as soon as we get ourselves a couple of villagers of the zombie variety. But for now, I guess I have to be patient. I had this all set up. I've had it all set up for probably close to like 30-40 episodes. But I unfortunately killed them all. I did do that. So we currently have to be a little bit more patient and hope we get some villagers relatively quickly. But I believe if we just get 2, we'll be fine because we can breed those 2 and life will be awesome. But until we get those 2, we just have to be patient. Okay. Nothing interesting to trade over there. I think while we haven't totally found a reliable way of getting blazes to spawn, we kind of have, because so many blazes spawned in the last video while I was building, that I truly do think if I stand in the blaze farm area for 10-15 minutes and then walk back over to the overworld, the blazes will be there. So I think we kind of have a way of getting them to spawn, but also not really. But we'll have to continue trying that. But for now we have enough blaze rods to get a couple of potions made. So we are actually quite good in that department. I didn't have to wait this long to start, I do suppose. But, you know, it's been done now. You have stolen my flower. I don't appreciate that. Now you must die. There we go. Didn't think you could just get away with that now, did you? I think none of these are villagers. This one could be, but I don't think it is. No. Honestly, is it? No, that's just a zombie. So now I suppose I have to wait here. I will probably AFK here in between videos as well, but it honestly feels kind of strange to be making these potions now, because as soon as we cure the villagers and I learn more about villager trading, that was like the last early goal I had set for this world. When we originally started, that was one of the first goals I did have, and now that we are kind of starting that process, it feels strange. I'll definitely do some type of villager haul. I'll probably do a little build for that as well, so we'll have to, you know, gather materials and stuff, so we're not nearly done with this goal. But it will be strange to kind of be done with this for now. Of course, I want to see if we can get more villagers to stay. We currently have 2, but I want to get maybe some more. I want to build, I want to expand. I was talking a couple videos ago about doing some big platforms, like 50-100 blocks down from here, so if I ever do fall to my death, my stuff should be relatively safe. I still want to figure out a way if we can get blazes to spawn consistently. I want to explore, maybe see if there's any way we can get to the end. There's lots I want to do in this world, but these villagers were some of the last early goals I had, so it'll be exciting to get this done. and I'll get to learn something new, because not only am I now going to learn some potion making, and that will be fun. I get to figure out what's the best potions I can make, how can I maybe make them, how can I automate making them. I think that could be a fun project as well. But then I also get to learn how villager trading works, which I think could also be a fun way for me to explore Minecraft a little bit differently. But that all depends on me getting some zombie villagers here, which means as much as I enjoy just talking and yapping, I'm gonna have to stand here for however long it takes for me to get 2 of them, which will probably take a while, but good things take time, so we'll be patient. But honestly, I can't believe we got that many blazes in the last video that now the mission is complete. It's done. It's over. We'll continue expanding this land eventually. I would love some more grass here, some more grass over here. There's a couple of awkward areas near my spawn actually that I'd love to expand on a little bit. I'd love to do some more fun builds. I haven't really built anything fun in a while, but so far we're doing very well. And I need to stop running away from my mob spawner, because that's what I need to be at for these mobs to spawn, believe it or not. But I love running around this world. There, I said it, it's the truth. I love running around this world. I think I'm gonna have to AFK here for a little while, which I've done plenty of times to get all of my enchants. Because believe it or not, without a mob farm, or without a villager trading to get the enchants that you want, it actually ends up taking quite a while to just luckily roll what you want to get. So I've been AFKing at this farm more often than I would like, but now that we pretty much have all of our armor, all of our tools, I guess I won't have to AFK here too much more often, just as soon as we get these 2 zombie villagers. And then I learn villager breeding, and then I learn villager trading. So plenty for me to learn and explore still. And this world, you know, it's far from built, so we'll be able to continue to exist in this world. But if you do have any ideas for anything you want to see me build, whether it is a practical thing, like I said, an automated potion brewing extravaganza, or just a pretty build that you think could look nice, definitely let me know. I do enjoy this world a lot, and I think we've got so much more to learn from this world, so I'm having a blast. Hopefully you're enjoying it as well. Nope, I'm running again. Nope, we don't do that. We stand still. I just need to take my hands off the keyboard. But definitely let me know. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. I really am. I didn't quite know, you know, when I started this series 55 videos ago, I didn't really know what I was signing up for. I just knew it was a 1-block world, and that sounded a lot of fun. And now here we are, almost a year later, still having a great time. Hopefully you've been enjoying it as well. There's more to come, but for now I simply have to wait and be patient. And usually mobs are a little bit quicker about spawning here, I won't lie, or maybe I don't realize because I just AFK and then I go do something else, but eventually we'll get what we need. I believe. We just have to wait a little bit longer. And you know what? We have had so much good luck recently getting all those blaze rods. So I think waiting right now, it's gonna be okay. We'll be fine. Creeper spawns are up though. When we initially built this area, we weren't getting a lot of creeper spawns for some reason. But now, I think creepers are one of the mobs we have the most materials for. Yeah, they're the only ones on their second chest in the second line, other than arrows and bows. But I guess now maybe we have to use some of these ingredients for potion making, so that'll be exciting. So far we've only really used it for trading with the villagers, so it'll be interesting to see what we can do with it in the future. But for now, I do believe it's time for me to stand here and get some villagers for us, so that for the next video, we'll be ready to cure the villagers. So hopefully you're ready and excited for that. That is a witch. I prefer it if you did not exist. There we go. Hopefully you're ready for the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. I do always appreciate all of your support. and hopefully I'll see you again very, very soon in this world or the next. Alright, have a good one. Bye bye!